Chevrolet CEO Mary Barra just dropped a warning to all EV makers that has the industry on edge. What did she say? Is it something critical for the future of electric vehicles? In this video, we will cover it all in detail and see how it will change everything in the EV industry. But before we move ahead, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on future videos about the EV industry. The news of General Motors teetering on the edge of a disastrous financial crisis has sent earthquakes throughout the automotive sector. The red flags are flying high, and GM CEO Mary Barra seems solely responsible for the company's current situation. Many people are confused by her recent actions, especially about EVs. Mary's recent actions have confounded experts in her field and the general public. She's dedicated to making electric vehicles with jaw-dropping price tags. She is also rethinking GM's approach to internal combustion engines. In what way? A sequence of tremors was felt throughout the automotive sector. The GM problem raises profound questions about the future of the automotive industry. With Mary Barra at the helm, GM had devised an ambitious plan to transition to full electrification. Initially, this strategy was hailed as a game-changer. But as we get into the nuances, it becomes apparent that it might be causing more harm than good. GM's bold intention to completely abandon combustion engines is fraught with risks that could lead to its downfall. One of the most pressing concerns surrounding GM's recent actions is the exorbitant prices of their vehicles. Mary Barra's leadership has overseen price hikes of up to $100,000 on GM trucks, sparking frustration among the middle class. When GM initially introduced these electric vehicles, there was an expectation that their demand would be insatiable. However, reality has proved to be quite different. Instead of witnessing skyrocketing sales, GM's trucks began piling up in dealership lots. A prime example is the Silverado EV, which recorded a meager 18 deals in the third quarter of 2023, a far cry from GM's initial expectations. It poses a pressing issue for GM as they grapple with the dissonance between their optimistic projections and the actual market reality. The skyrocketing price of batteries, already the most expensive part of EVs, is at the root of these price difficulties. The choice to outsource the manufacture and distribution of battery cells to Chinese companies has only made things more costly for General Motors. This pricey reliance on third parties also increases the vehicle's overall mass, which can reduce its range. Customers are suspicious about the usefulness of EVs because of the poor charging infrastructure in many places. Inadequate charging solutions, concerns about reduced performance in cold weather, and the significant cost of EVs have contributed to the hesitancy among mainstream buyers. These challenges further underline the hurdles GM and the EV industry face as they strive to bring electric mobility to the masses. Furthermore, the GM predicament extends beyond financial challenges. Quality issues have marred their products, with rushed production methods leading to faults in the first SUVs reaching consumers. These issues arise to the safety of their vehicles, with serious concerns about defects that could lead to injuries or fatalities. The quality concerns go beyond the assembly line, as GM faced numerous recalls due to various issues. Notably, GM recalled 994,473 vehicles owing to potential airbag issues. The recall affected specific models from the Buick Enclave, Chevrolet Traverse, and GMC Acadia lineups manufactured between 2014 and 2017. The issue revolved around the risk of airbag inflator rupture during a crash, a problem that poses significant risks of serious injuries or even fatalities. In addition to the airbag recall, GM initiated another safety recall for their 2020 to 2023 Chevrolet Equinox and GMC Terrain models. This recall impacted 668,000 vehicles due to concerns surrounding the rear seat lower child seat latch. Reports suggested that these latches might have excessive powder coating, preventing child seats from securely attaching to the anchorage bars. These recalls not only reflect a potential compromise in quality for profits, but also underscore the importance of safety and reliability in the automotive industry. The legal issues do not end with recalls. GM faced a significant legal setback when a California jury awarded a $13 million verdict against the company for allegedly concealing engine defects in numerous SUVs and trucks. These defects resulted in stalling and premature breakdowns spanning vehicles sold from 2015 to 2019. The lawsuit suggests that GM might have been aware of these issues as early as 2010, further undermining their credibility and highlighting concerns about profit prioritization over product quality. Another critical external factor in GM's woes is the global shift towards electric vehicles (EVs). As consumers increasingly wait to purchase EVs compatible with Tesla's supercharger network, GM's current offerings with CCS ports may be losing favor in North America. The market dynamics have shifted. Early adopters have paved the way for EVs, but it's now the mainstream buyers who remain to be convinced. Concerns about range, inadequate charging infrastructure, reduced performance in cold weather, and the high cost of EVs without dependable charging solutions have made mainstream consumers wary. The concerns about EVs persist, highlighting the necessity for further advancements in the technology and infrastructure. However, if GM's woes were limited to quality issues, recalls, and the EV challenge, they could find a way forward. But their problems extend further, encompassing challenges from labor strikes, financial setbacks, and intensifying competition. The industry-wide shift to EVs carries with it inevitable consequences. As more consumers await vehicles compatible with Tesla's supercharger network, GM's current offerings with CCS ports might be losing favor in North America. The fact remains that early adopters have had their fill, and now it's the mainstream buyers who remain to be convinced. Adding to the complexities of GM's situation, the global microchip shortage has had a profound impact on the automotive industry. GM experienced a 43% drop in Q4 sales due to the drought, resulting in plant shutdowns across North America. Many of their facilities came to a standstill, while only a select few continue producing their most profitable models, such as the Camaro and Corvette. GM also faced labor strikes as the United Auto Workers UAW union pushed for fair wages. These strikes further hindered GM's ability to maintain production, exacerbating their challenges. The confluence of these issues paints a bleak picture for GM, with its profitability and future hanging in the balance. What makes GM's situation even more pressing is that it is not an isolated case. Ford, another industry giant making strides toward full electrification, faces similar challenges. Ford had to halt the production of its best-selling electric vehicle, the F-150 Lightning, raising eyebrows, mainly as it experienced a sharp 46% sales drop in the third quarter of 2023. Furthermore, Ford produced an overwhelming 92,000 EVs that now languish unsold in dealerships, in stark contrast to combustion engine vehicles that typically take only 48 days to sell compared to the 92-day average for EVs. These challenges pose profound financial implications for Ford, as they anticipate a staggering loss of approximately $4.5 billion in their EV division this year alone. In essence, the challenges that GM faces are not unique to them alone. The entire automotive industry grapples with a rapidly changing landscape. The shift towards electrification is replete with hurdles, and the experiences of GM and Ford underscore the need for a balanced and sustainable transition. While the vision of a future dominated by electric vehicles is still firmly in place, the path to get there is fraught with difficulties. As the middle class increasingly demands affordable and practical options, automakers must strike a delicate balance between profit and the needs of their customers. Whether GM and its peers can find this equilibrium will determine their fate in an industry that is rapidly evolving. The GM situation goes deeper than market forces and industry trends, highlighting the disconnect between the interests of the middle class and those of corporate behemoths. The automotive industry must respond to consumers' growing concerns about the cost and viability of electric vehicles. The leadership of Mary Barra and other CEOs in the sector need to think about how their choices would affect the industry as a whole. It would be disastrous for significant automakers to ignore the needs of the middle class, their staff, and their loyal customers. As the middle class calls for more reasonably priced and functional options, car manufacturers must walk a fine line between satisfying customers and maximizing profits. In a continuously changing sector, success or failure will depend on whether or not GM and its competitors can strike this balance. GM, like other automakers, will need to navigate the future to ensure their continued success carefully. Let's give it a walk now. But before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. See you in the next one.